Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video flying out these amazing aircraft. But first, let's thank our members over Landing 11B, all the Foxpad members. Thank you for helping the channel, all the Fishpad members. It's so many that I cannot even say them without losing too much time, so I'm sorry, some videos I will not do when I'm doing so much videos, okay? But yeah, let's get into it. So today we are going to fly the AJ-37, yeah, the Viggen, the normal Viggen, the attack Viggen, the 10.3 sweet spot Viggen, okay? Why we are talking about it? Because we got a new addition for this aircraft. It actually has custom loadouts now. So with the custom loadouts, you finally can have a cannon and the flare pods. You know, I know a lot of people will complain about this, and I know a lot of people will like to use just the cannons. But to be honest, I mean, I understand you, because the cannon is kind of a hard one to actually hit something, as you're going to see. I'm going to miss a lot of shots with it, just because it is on the wing. It's downwards in a position like a down position, far from the axis of the aircraft, and it has uh, basically no tracers at all. The rate of fire is kind of slow, which makes it kind of a difficult thing to shoot, but at least you have plenty of ammo with that. But as you see here, it explodes aircraft. So yeah, it's an amazing aircraft already. I know the radar is not by any means realistic. The AJ-37 never had this type of radar, but in game we have it, and you can kind of exploit this situational awareness of having basically a fourth generation aircraft radar, but in 10.3 with flares and chaff, and with two AIM-9s and a cannon. So it's not everybody's cup of tea, okay? But I still think this is one of the best. I'm not gonna say that it is the best, because we have the SMT, we have the Mirages, which are very good at this BR. There are many aircraft at this BR that are pretty good, but it is one of the best 10.3 aircrafts in the game. And it has a learning curve, okay? It is very limited in its weapons, okay? But the performance is amazing. The aircraft has an amazing engine. It burns a lot of fuel, but it produces a lot of power. As you see, I'm slow. I'm at 800 kilometers per hour, and I'm producing 140 kilonewtons. It's a lot of power, you know. It is an inefficient engine, to be honest. Even the MLD's turbojet is more efficient in fuel consumptions to power than this engine, but still, it is pretty powerful. And if you are asking me, because I know a lot of you do, what are those things in my screen there? It is the War Thunder real-time information, okay? It's a overlaid program. I have a video about it, so check it out, and there I can show you everything. But anyway, continuing. So as you see, it is an efficient engine, obviously, so be careful with the fuel. As you see, we have in the overlay program there, we have 15 minutes up there, but down below in the overlay program, down below the RWR, as you can see, we have 2 minutes and 20 with 15 minutes. So it's almost like a 7-to-1, I think, consumption when in full afterburner, depending on obviously in altitude and speed, but still, it is a very thirsty aircraft. So these are the problems with the aircraft. You know, the weaponry is limited, and you have to know how to use it. It has a learning curve with it, um, and the fuel consumption is pretty bad. But everything else, it's amazing. Okay, so you have a pretty amazing radar, and a radar that is very comparable to the radar on the Yacht Viggen, which is the radar. It's a little bit better, you know, in range and stuff. I think in game they are the same. They basically detect targets like an F5, which is it is a small target, from 50 something kilometers. So it is still lacking compared to radars like in the Mirage 2000 and stuff like that. But obviously in this variant we only are facing 10.3s. Obviously you can get up tiers, and a lot of times you do against F14s and stuff. But now with the flares and chaff, you can actually defend yourself a little bit more against those more precise missiles and better missiles, you know. And the performance of the aircraft is almost the same as the ActiveVigen. Obviously, it is a little bit less powerful in the engine, but still, it is very, very capable. The turning capabilities of these aircraft is, I mean, they are on par on with the Mirage 2000. I'm going to make videos comparing them, but still, it's an aircraft that it has a 10.3 BR because of its weapons and limitations of not few, but its limitations on basically armament. You know, it's the main thing. It's the main problem with it. But you have to think that this is kind of a fourth generation kind of thing, you know. Remember, these fourth generation, third generation, these classifications, they do not exist actually in an official way, as I always say. So it's complicated to deal with some aircraft. For example, the Viggen is one of them. I know a lot of people will consider it a third generation aircraft, but in many ways it is a fourth gen, but just a very early fourth gen, you know, just like the F-14, but even a little bit earlier than that in a sense of technology, you know. But even other things like the radar itself, it's way superior than the F-14 in the sense of technology. I mean, it is way less sensitive to chaff, for example, or notching and stuff like that than the F-14 radar, even though it has way less power, so it has way less range, of course, and the missiles are problematic because you only have two AIM-9Js in here. And even in the ActiveVigen, you only have two sky flashes, even though they are buffed right now. So is the AIM-7F of the F-14. So yeah, but yes, I'm not gonna say that it's the best 10.3 aircraft. Continue the topic from before, just because of that. It is a hard cannon to use. The missiles are pretty alright in this BR, but yeah, they're very short range missiles, you know. So you normally have to be careful on the range. You saw me miss a missile there in a pretty dumb way. But yeah, it's just an aircraft that relies a lot on its performance. So because of it, you will end up having the perfect shot a lot of the times, and when you are going to shoot, you're going to miss. So yeah, it's a problematic aircraft, but now it is finally complete because you can actually use the chaff and flares with the cannon, as I was saying. So and together, if you want to use it, especially in a squadron battle, I think in 10.3 will be very, very good with the chaffs, the flares, and the cannon, and one AIM-9 and maybe even one MatAWG. So a very custom loadout and a variety of weapons that you are using there, which helps it make it very, very, very efficient. Okay, so yeah, it's an aircraft that I think everybody should play it right now. I know a lot of people don't like this aircraft because of its weapons, but right now with this, I think it's worth it. You know, it doesn't have the limitations that it had, and it's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite 10.3 aircraft in the game, just because of its radar. It just puts you in a very good position to deal with enemies. You just know where they are, whatever the time is. Here is an example. I'm going to pass to a more commentary kind of situation on the battles. As you see here, I'm against top tier here, so I had this problem. But yeah, so I was the down tier of the match. And as you see, the TWS already helping me find a target. Obviously, I don't have the sky flashes, so I cannot launch a long-range missile on it. But he's just like he's there. I know he's there because of the TWS. Easy to track and to maintain a closer look to the target. We kind of go to the maximum amount of tiltness of the radar upwards. So I start to climb a little bit to maintain the lock. And then when I get a good solution on him, I just zoom climb with the missile. Fox 2 launch, 2 kilometers. Kind of a not the best situation ever for the AIM-9J, but very good kill, a very quick kill, and very easy. So yeah, I would never got a kill with like this with the MiG-21 probably, just because I would not see this Mirage 2000, for example, which is the SMT, you know. So yeah, it's just a matter of the situational awareness that this radar actually gives you, together with the AIM-9s um, and even the cannon. To be honest, you can jump a lot of people, you know. But as you're going to see, I lose a lot of shots in these matches because the cannon, you need, as I said, it has a learning curve. You know, it's a difficult cannon. It has a very low muzzle velocity. Not the muzzle velocity is not even the problem. It has a low muzzle velocity, but it's not even that bad. The real problem is the rate of fire. I mean, as you're going to see when I shoot the cannon, the ammunition just doesn't go. You know. So yeah, and I think they nerfed the rate of fire of this gun like not a while ago or in this patch. So yeah, it's problematic. And as you see here, if the cannon was in the nose of the aircraft, I would have got him. But it's just a a complicated thing. And I really wish the guy didn't die there so that I could dogfight it. I know that this is a Mirage 5F, so I launch an AIM-9 with a guarantee kill. No flares, obviously, which is kind of a problematic thing when you are fighting these more advanced aircraft and you are in a Mirage 5F. And that's the thing. I think the aircraft like the Mirage 5F and a lot of the, I mean, even the Su-17 M2 that it's in for whatever reason still in 11.0, these aircraft really suffer from not having the countermeasures. It's a very bad problem. I know a lot of the times you don't even use it, but it's just those like 20 to 30% of the times in a 10.3 match, 10.0 match, that you would want a chaff or a flare to actually evade the missile and just win a match, because these little things can make you win a match. And that's just a very bad thing to not have. You know, it's a problematic thing when you fly those aircraft. And with the AJ-37, it was like that before the patch. So finally, it's here, and I think it's a good addition for the Swedish aircraft. I still think that not the AJ-37. I think we should get at least two little things before we get to the JA-37D or even the Gripen on the far future. I always get this question or a lot of comments like, I really hope for the Gripen, or I really hope for the JA-37D, but they're just too advanced for now. Even though the JA-37D could come without the AIM-120, it would make it kind of a weird one, because it would basically be the same aircraft as the MatAWG. So kind of a weird thing to have. But there are two things that we can have right now. And one of them is obviously the RB-74 for the MatAWG. That would help, and that would make it as a top tier aircraft. I think it would, the BR should be increased. It is 11.0 right now, so there is room for improvement. And to be honest, it's even a topic that I really wanted to talk about in various videos, is that with the Mirage 2000 coming with the Magic 2 from the get-go, I mean, there is literally no reason why we should not get all aspect missiles to anything that can get it. So that includes the MatAWG, I think. It should get the RB-74, which is the AIM-9L, and the BR may be bumped up to 11.3, because it would basically mean it's very comparable to the Mirage 2000. I think it would be fair to be that, you know. Another thing that, the second thing that I think it should come in the near future for the Swedish is, I think maybe the AJS-37, which is the 90s modification for this aircraft over here. So it would make it a very indeed a very good aircraft to have, you know. And together with the AIM-9Ls, you know, even though it is still limited to just IR missiles and stuff like that, it is an aircraft that would be very cool to have it. The modifications that we see there are very cool, and yeah, it's just a more advanced Viggen, attack Viggen, you know, maybe even with better Mavericks. I don't know if they used better Mavericks, so you can let me know in the comments. I might do a video on it as well, but yeah, maybe even some guided bombs, maybe, I don't know. It's probably just a modification to carry more better systems in general, probably, but I have to check it. But these two would make it so that it's a stopgap from Sweden not receiving anything, because to be honest, that's basically it, guys. For a while, Sweden for top tier can only get these two little things, the RB-74 and the AJS, you know, and beyond that, there's basically nothing to come. Uh, maybe a Norwegian F-16 if they really want to do that, or a Finnish MiG-21. I don't know, something like that. Obviously, I think we still need better versions of the Draken. You know, there's the J-35F and J-35J, but still, for top the line, you know, the Viggen will still be better than those aircraft. And yeah, well, but yeah. So yeah, it's an aircraft that it was already pretty amazing. I already liked this aircraft very much, but right now it's just way too good for ignoring. You know, if you are not familiar with this aircraft, if you don't care about this aircraft, make sure to check it out. It is a different approach to the Viggen platform, and it is a very fun one. I had even more fun flying with this thing than the Act Viggen. So I guess it's just a matter of opinion, obviously, but it's just the challenge of having weirder weaponry, you know, and together with having a lower BR, it becomes a very fun aircraft. So yeah, but basically this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments what you think about the custom loadout for the Viggen. Does it help or not? I know a lot of people don't like the idea of having one cannon removed from this aircraft, but I think it's worth it. So let me know in the comments what you think about it. And yeah, I see you guys on the next one. I plan to do 2 more videos today, showing off a little bit of the older missiles that got buffed too. Okay, so I see you guys on the next one, and subscribe. It helps a lot. And bye, guys. See ya.